Thanks for joining me today. I'm using the largest mold that you can get from the Happy Dotting Company. It's mold number 4. And if you are interested in getting your own molds, I've left a link in the description below for the Happy Dotting Company. Angela's amazing and service is great. Definitely go and check out her stuff that she's got available. So what I'm doing right now is I'm putting on the background. I'm using different shades of purple and I paint it on first and then I sponge it out. Sponging it out gets rid of all of those paint strokes so you don't see which direction you actually painted it on, but it also blends the two colors together very nicely. So I like to do that because I want to do like a gradient from dark to light going down, and that's what I'm doing now is I'm just putting on the paint, and I will be coming back in with a sponge and sponging it together so that you don't see those seams or where the colors change. And I'm using different shades of purple. All of the colors that I use in this tutorial will be listed in the description below. However, this is just what I have available in my stash. So I don't expect you to do the same thing as I am. Just you can do any colors. It's a night sky with a thunderstorm and lightning strike. So anything that you have available to you, if you want to go with grays or blacks or different shades of blacks, so it would be grays. Or you can use blues, or I mean, your imagination is your limitation. So definitely whatever you want to do. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually sponging on where the lightning strike's going to be. So if you've ever noticed in pictures or when you're actually watching a thunderstorm, it's really bright around the actual strike. So that's what I'm doing here is I'm just making it so that it has that brightness of where the lightning strike is going to go. I will be painting a lightning strike. And one thing with lightning is there's no round edges to it. So it's very sharp, straight edges that are connected, but they're always on different angles. So if you can imagine like a crack or like a crack in wood or in a stone, it never goes in a round shape or like an oval or anything like that. It's always very sharp lines, and that's the same with a lightning strike. So you can see that it's sort of like blurry a bit. What I did was, and I'm sorry, I lost it in editing, but I took a wide brush and I just, as the paint was still wet, I just lightly, with a dry brush, lightly drag the paint down. So it looks like rain that's falling, and you'll notice that too in some pictures, and definitely if you're watching the thunderstorm yourself. I don't know about you, but I'm not a big fan of thunderstorms. They're a bit scary, but I live through them and I survive. So, but lightning and thunder, mostly the thunder is what really gets me. And some of them can be very violent and they can come with other things like tornadoes and things like that. So, but we don't want to do a picture of that. What we're doing is a picture of a lightning strike. So I'm just adding now a top coat with some glitter in it. And it's just to give it that little extra shine, especially for like a night sky. And with a lightning strike, it does show up as like a reflection of light when it does strike. So that's the illusion I was going for with this. So I just do a light coat of this glitter top coat and put it on just on the purple stuff. Anything that is painted over top is, we're going to lose that, but that's okay because I'm done with my blending. I'm done with the sky. I like it. I like where the lightning strike's going to be. So I'm just going to leave it there. So now that that's dry, now what I want to do is I want to go put on some silhouettes of some trees. So I'm doing a mixed forest here. So I'm going to have some conifers and some deciduous. So what that means is evergreens and leaf trees, for those of you that don't know that. But but I'm just adding them in. You don't have to be particular with these because they are in the like a shadow state. So as long as it has the resemblance of a tree, that's basically all you've got to do. I love doing sceneries and things like that, so this was really fun to do. And my first attempt at a lightning strike, I liked it so much that I did three of them actually. So at the end of this video, I will have still photos of each version that I did. So make sure you stay to the end of the video. If you like this tutorial, please hit that thumbs up to let me know. And also subscribe if you really like this and you want to see more. And make sure you hit that bell because that will give you the notifications every time I post. I post on Fridays, but there is the odd time I will post during the week. So make sure you have that bell notification on and you'll be notified when I do that. I'd also like to know about your feelings of thunderstorms and lightning strikes. So if you could leave me a comment in the comment section below and tell me if you like thunderstorms or if you don't like thunderstorms, or even if you just like the tutorial, just let me know. I'd be very interested to know what everybody feels about this kind of weather. We're actually in that season in the spring where the snow is melting, things are starting to warm up, and that brings unsettled weather. So definitely I'd love to hear what your opinion is on this. What I'm doing now is I'm painting on a large deciduous tree. I'm doing it right in front of the lightest part of the lightning strike. Once I get that painted on, you'll understand a little bit better as to like where the lightning strike is going. But I wanted something there so that it really popped out. So I went with a large deciduous tree. It's in the springtime, so there's no leaves on the tree. It's just its branches. And it's the tallest one because the lightning rules, if you will, they strike, lightning strikes the highest point. So this tree being the tallest tree could be that one that's going to get struck by the lightning. But I just wanted to add in a few more deciduous trees and a few more conifers and just to really make this look like maybe the edge of a meadow or something like that in a mixed forest. This rock will be posted on my Etsy shop for sale, so if you're interested, please follow the link that's in the description below to my Etsy shop. I've had some issues with it lately, but I think I've got those kinks all worked out and I will have others updated as well. So definitely worth to go and check it out, and I will update it periodically, so definitely keep checking back on it. So you can see now the lightning strike I've painted on. I think it was pearl white that I used because it's got a shine to it, and a lightning strike is like so bright, and I really wanted to capture that essence of a lightning strike. So that's why I used that. And I've got it on there. As you can see, it's not any round lines. It's all straight lines, but zigzagged and all over the place. The harder that I put pressure on my brush, the thicker the line got. So I wanted the thick line to be the main part of the lightning strike. And then with less pressure, I dragged my paintbrush across the rock and got some of these stragglers or electrical currents that are flowing away from the main one. And then I just added some lights and darks to the trees below to give you the essence of the shadows and the light that's coming from the lightning. And now I'm just retouching up my gold frame that I have on there because during the sponging process and the blending process, I kind of dabbed over top of it. So just to sharpen it up, I'm just going over it again. And I go all the way around with it, and I may do this one or two more times, and then clean it up with some black paint on the outside, just so that it's all done up and it looks really well and even. I had mentioned earlier that I wanted the scene to be like the edge of a meadow. So what I'm doing is I'm using grays, different shades of grays with a little bit of white, and I'm just dabbing it on. I'm not being any particular rhyme or reason on this. It's just very random, haphazard, just to get a base coat down. And by doing it this way, it almost magically appears for your shapes. So then what I do is I use some white paint and I highlight those bumps or areas that would be like the hills that I've already determined by just, dabbing on paint. So I just continued doing this using the white paint and a little bit of darker gray so that I can get the light reflection from the lightning bolt onto these rolling hills as well as casting the shadows. Now I get a little bit messy here with doing all of this extra blending with my blending brush. So I will have to go in and retouch up the gold circle that's around there, but not a big deal. I knew that I would do this. So the nice thing about it is I have already sort of like a template to follow. It's already there. So if it's just dabbed over, I just got to paint over top of it. And I will touch up around the outside of it with black paint just to give it a more sharp kind of line on the edge of the circle. And then what I do is I actually use some color shifting paint on the outside. And it just adds to the whole essence of the lightning bolt. It color shifts from blue to purple. It's so beautiful. Unfortunately, I can't show you how I did it because I forgot to press the record button when I was doing it. So I can show you at the end of this video what it looks like, as well as the two other ones that I did. So stick around, we're almost there. And remember folks, life is what you make it, so get creative.